So if you're the owner of a Saskatchewan corporation, it's really important to file your annual renewals with the ISC. This is something that's overlooked way too frequently. I see it way too often that businesses fail to do this and then they end up with problems. So before I even get into explaining more, first of all, it's important to be aware of whether you have a corporation or not. You could just have your business legal structure set up with the ISC and registered as a partnership or as a proprietorship, not necessarily a corporation. And if that's the case, that you're just set up as a partnership or sole proprietorship and you just have a trade name registered, then those trade names just need to be renewed every 3 years, not every 1 year like a corporation. So even for that, make sure you're doing that if you fall in that category, because again, I see that a lot as well, where individuals or partnerships that register a business with a trade name with the ISC fail to do their renewals every 3 years, and then their business name becomes inactive. And then at some point, someone else can go and register that trade name. But now when it comes to corporations, again, corporations have to file that annual renewal annually, so once per year. And you want to do it before the due date. Typically that's around the time of year that you actually originally incorporated the business in Saskatchewan. Now, in order to do that, you can do that yourself. Just log into your ISC account and just go through the steps to update the entity and then file the annual renewal. And as of today, that's a $60 fee in order to do that. Once you do sign in and you navigate to that section where you do the update, it's basically quite similar to the original incorporation, where you're just reviewing the different sections and updating any information about your corporation that has changed. So if nothing's changed, it's not going to take long at all. Just review everything, pay the fee, which as of today is $60. But make sure you're doing it. What I tell people is just to put a reminder every year in their phone calendar so that they get a notification to do that. Because if you don't do that, your business will be struck off, at least in the case of corporations. And if you're late with filing the annual renewal, the fee goes from $60 to $110. And then after 60 days of being late, then your corporation can be what's called struck off, as I mentioned. And then if your corporation gets struck off the corporate registry, the ISC, then you have to pay to do a restoral. And unfortunately, the price of restoral is $255, which is the same price to initially incorporate. So that's something you'll want to avoid. And now if you want instructions as to how to actually file your annual corporate renewal with the ISC, I'm not going to do a demonstration in this video, but I will link in the video description below to a PDF that has instructions on how to do that. But again, it's a fairly simple process. As of today, $60 to do. You can do it yourself. You don't necessarily need a lawyer. Log into your ISC account, follow the steps, make sure you're updating whatever needs to be updated, and don't be late with this. You don't want to have to do a restoral and pay those fees, and you don't want to run into a situation where you are operating a corporation and under a corporate name for a corporation that is inactive, that is struck off, because there actually can be penalties for that as well. And when it comes to rules, regulations, laws, things are typically more strict around corporations compared to sole proprietorships and partnerships. So again, just something to be mindful of and something to be careful with and just get in the routine of doing. So hopefully this video was useful. If so, please click like and feel free to check out my YouTube channel here, where I currently have over 265 videos that cover business startup and business management topics. And I am based in Saskatchewan. This is what I do, is business advising and consulting. So if you're looking for some help in getting your business set up properly, or improving and expanding business, feel free to reach out. I do offer a free 1-hour initial consultation, and I will also leave the link to book that consultation in the video description below.